And today's topic, we are going to discuss about the portfolio analytics. Simply, it is called as portfolio analytics. And for our subject in your syllabus, you can see all those things as the performance attribution of the portfolio. That is how it is mentioned. So need not worry about that. This is how we can have a nice portfolio analytics based upon the performance of the capital market or the share price movement or the inflationary movement, how we will price the performance. Whether our portfolio is done well or done bad. That is what we are going to find out. Of course, there are a number of tools available, techniques available, and even the softwares are available. There are more than 100 softwares are available for that purpose. Portfolio analysis, even the analytics also. It will give you nice result based upon some nice diagrams so that you are able to take decision. So based upon the decision, nowadays nobody is working physically, but without physical knowledge, you can't see all those things. But how it will be reflected today, we are going to see some of the techniques. And all these techniques are used in FinCAD software, as well as in case of port software of Bloomsburg. What are all the points we are going to discuss today is available in the port. PORT, one of the nice software for the Bloomsburg. Same thing, in the same manner, it is also available in FinCAD. So in future, if you are working in the software, you can easily find out. Simple thing, given Excel, you can do all those things. Only thing you must know how you have to take the decision making. So before going to that one, let us see nice, interesting news which has been published just a day back regarding this portfolio management as well as the analytics of portfolio. How the different funds perform during the calendar year 21. You can see a very interesting fact. In the year 2021, most of the mutual fund companies, that is, those who are invested in nice portfolio, they mobilized around 99,704 crores. Think about the market value of our portfolio analytics in India. That is the nice news. See that one. Of course, in the month of August, they mobilized huge funds, around 23,668 crores, followed by December month. See that one, this was a very important statistic. It shows that in which month, in case of India, the portfolio is having very good results. Likewise, you can see in the same news, we have mobilized more funds in multi-cap, followed by flexi and sectoral indexes. The multi-cap funds, that is simply speaking, the diversified portfolio gain very good momentum, and we mobilized around 14,941 crores. See that one, how far the investment is moving. That is how the investments, even in the debt funds. In India, we mobilized around 10,564 crores. Out of that, the fixed term plan is still creating the momentum. That means most of the debt funds, we are investing based upon the fixed interest ratio. Of course, it is mentioned by the RBI. Okay. And another interesting thing, the highest NFO is from the State Bank of India, followed by ICICI Prudential. How? That means the people are giving more importance for the pension funds and future savings. Because nowadays in the government side, they are not giving pension. It depends upon the PF or any other savings of the people. That is why the mutual funds have been gaining very good momentum, because the pension scheme has been merged with the national pension scheme and government is no more ready to give the pension. So everybody is having the fear how much you will get income after the retirement. So they decided to invest in most of the funds. If they are investing in very good portfolio or in the form of systematic investment planning, then they assume that there will be good interest. And they are able to survive with an amount. That is why there are a number of ups and downs in the portfolio. Usually in case of portfolio analytics, the performance of the portfolio analytics is determined by the portfolio manager. That is another interesting thing in portfolio. In common parlance, when there is an advertisement about the portfolio, you might have seen, they will mention the portfolio manager name. In future, you may be like that. They may mention the portfolio manager is Kiran or Sanoji or Alana, like that. That's what we are expecting. That means the Kiran's edition, his name will also be branded nicely in portfolio analytics. Okay? Let us see what is the meaning of performance in case of portfolio analytics. Simple thing, performance attribution is the profit, how much profit you are gaining, and investment is performing. If you have created the portfolio, what will be net asset value? How much returns you will get? That is quite common, but it will not be fixed. That is the interesting point. It may increase and decrease, it will dance here and there. Nobody can estimate correctly because everything is depending upon the market. That is why the portfolio management has been given more weightage in deciding which portfolio we can invest. Okay? Same thing here also. In analytics, two things are very important. That is profit attribution. We used to call it as returns in finance. Investment performance attribution. We used to call it as NAV. That is net asset value in finance. But usually the softwares will never tell about the NAV. Of course, in old softwares, it will give the data about NAV. When you are using the new softwares, it will give the name called investment performance attribution, the value only. Okay? So that we call it as performance. There are different methods to find out the performance of the portfolio. First is the scenario analysis. In case of portfolio management, you are calculating what is the portfolio returns, everything for group of assets. But here, when it comes to the application side, the softwares are telling about the scenario. Whether we can invest in Wipro combination, ONGC combination, or ACC combination, it will give the output. You are having a dream. You will input the dream. Okay, I have selected 5 companies' shares, and you will give the input into the software. Even it may be in Excel, we have studied already in Excel. That is the basic things. Once if you given the input, the scenario will be developed. We have discussed in one of the practicals how much we can invest in debt, how much we can invest in gold, how much we can invest in equity. We decided to use the solver for that one in Excel. Same thing here. That is the scenario analysis. We created a scenario, how much gold we can go for investment. What is the percentage of investment in gold? What is the percentage of investment in equity? What is the percentage of investment in debt? That is the combination of the portfolio. In case of scenario analysis, once you give the input, it will tell you clearly. In Excel, we use the problem solver for that one. We have generated some of the things. It clearly tells what is the percentage. I hope you might remember, even for tomorrow's class, you are going to work out. That is the advantage of solver. It is used for creating different scenarios. We have to decide only things. What is the minimum value or minimum percentage we can invest, and what will be the maximum thing we can go. Only if we give input, it will give nice output of the scenario. And these softwares will tell about the best and worst scenarios. As usual, the best scenario will be reflected in the data visualization with green color, whereas worst scenario in red color. In the meantime, in between things are varying with the colors. That is the data visualization used in scenario analysis, especially in case of port software. But basic thing is Excel. You can see what is the meaning of best case scenario. Very good one. One calculating the net present value. The rates most likely to be used are discount. It is based upon the management assumption that we will gain very good net present value. Worst scenario is the reverse. What is the minus net present value? How much minus will go? That is the highest possible discount rate we'll use and find out. That is the best and worst. Usually in softwares, it will be easily mentioned. Here is an example of the scenario analysis used in McKinsey. I think few of them are placed in McKinsey, I know. How far the McKinsey will give the visualization, you can see in this example, the dark red and green. In between things, the orange. That is the medium. Divest strategy, you can see in the bottom right to you. That shows that the things are working well, but you can harvest. It's not a good attractiveness. One side is market attractiveness, another side is the business strength. If both are in good condition, we can say that our investment will be moving well. If both are less, it means that we have to diversify. In the meantime, you can see in the middle, the orange color. We have to protect, we need not do anything because the price may increase or decrease. Return may come or may not come. So you can maintain in the orange color. The same speed we can maintain. That is how the scenario analysis is used. We have already discussed what is the method beyond the scenario calculation. Simple thing, what is the portfolio returns? Some of you have studied in portfolio management. What is the returns from the portfolio? It will create the scenario based upon the returns from the portfolio. You are giving the input immediately, these colors will come. Based upon that, you have to take decision. This is a very good example of the scenario analysis used in McKinsey. Same thing. This is another scenario analysis used in case of FinCAD software. Same Excel, what we have studied. We have studied what is the combination of the debt, equity, and gold. When it will be significant, when it will be highly unlikely. Damage level, it used to find out what is the maximum damage level and what is the probability of being more risk. Two sides, one side is the damage level. How much we will lose if anything goes wrong. Another thing, the probability of being high. Same thing, if the damage level is moving upward direction, it is in red color. At the same time, the risk probability is high. It is also not good, but very good returns will come. But in the meantime, you can see the orange and green color. Orange is also somewhat not good. The green color is good because in case of green color, there is something, the damage level will be less. At the same time, the risk level also be less. That is how you can maintain. But if the risk is high, means also it is good. It is mentioned in the light green color. You can see the dark green and light green. I don't know in your system how it is showing. These are all the indicators from the output of the portfolio software. Okay, of the scenario. Here is another example of the scenario. In another software, how the software will give the result. I will zoom that one. The performance will be mentioned here. That is excellent performance, means blue color, and the attractiveness is not there, and the net present value is less, means the white color. Here you can see. Okay. This is the software, how different portfolio is performing within our portfolio, different shares. And it used to say whether our portfolio is moderate, excellent, or high risk, like that. It used to display everything. This is the output from the another software, that is PXO. It is called as PXO software. But all these things we studied in case of the same Excel. Here is the another software which will create the scenario based upon the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis means this company's income statement and balance sheet. Based upon the income statement and the balance sheet, it will create what will be the scenario. Only scenario we have to give input. If the revenue growth is 10%, what will be our scenario? The revenue growth is 5%, what will be our scenario? If the revenue growth is moving more than 10%, what is the scenario? It will tell. Only thing, it is a projection. You will study in case of finance analytics 2, the projection of the cash flows. Same thing. Based upon the sum of the projection, it will prepare a budget and it will show nicely here. This scenario analytics is purely based upon the financial statements, or we can call it as the fundamental analysis. Based upon the fundamental analysis, this is working. I hope you might have studied in accounting what are all the different ratios. So if there is any change in profit, what will be the scenario? We assume like that. If in scenario 2, we assume that the profit is changing slightly, just 5%. But in scenario 1, we are aiming for 10%. These are the things you must know when you are sitting in front of the software. This is another interesting software which will give the result like that based upon the candlestick diagram what we studied. And this software, it is also one part of the share. It will show only the graph. Estimated values of the portfolio in a graphical method. That is the based upon the past performance it will create. See that one, it is an U-shaped curve. Same thing, the supply side, another one is the demand side. If the supply is limiting, the prices comes down. At the same time, if demand is increasing, the prices will go up. So it will tell you about the supply side and demand side. Based upon that, we can judge the price of the portfolio. What will be net asset value? This is created by Wyckoff. This is famously called as Wyckoff's candlestick diagram. This is used for finding out clearly the performance of our portfolio during the different time zones. Very interesting thing is based upon the candlestick performance. What we studied in previous class, the candlestick analysis. So based upon the candlestick analysis, it will create the nice output. In this output, we can easily find out in which period the supply exceeds the demand, in which period the demand exceeds the supply. It will create a scenario like that. If it happens, what will be the output? Here is another software. It will show simply the graphical one in the form of colors. Same thing, what is based upon the same filtered, you can see the output. This is the last one is the category in which you have invested. What will be the returns of the different thing? Q1, Q1, 1, 2, 3, like that. It will tell about the net asset value estimation. Fair value estimation. You can see the black color, that is the core thing. And 1 year, how much the NAV, net asset value, has grown. First, simply the calculation of net asset value using the arc, it will tell. But same thing we can work out in the Excel. So these are all the scenario analysis, very interesting thing. So based upon the scenario analysis, you can find out whether our portfolio is doing well, that is increasing, or our portfolio is coming down, or it is going in the flat direction. That is the purpose of the scenario analysis. In case of Excel, we are using the problem solver, but in case of other softwares, it automatically creates, and as an analytics student, based upon the color or based upon the candlestick, you are able to take decision. Okay? That is why it is mentioned under the theoretical portion. Here is simple case study for your understanding. The Bloomberg Sport software. How it is working. Some of you might have worked during your internship. I don't know whether the student is here or not. She worked in the sports software during her internship. Your seniors are working with this Bloomberg Sport. So from your seniors, as they have given the link for downloading, same thing I downloaded, and I'm showing here to you how the Bloomberg Sport will work for the portfolio analytics. You can see the one, how this Bloomberg will create. It will show the visualization in 3 colors. Of course, other than red, they have mentioned that one. That is the past color in pink, present what is going on in green, and future in the yellow color. That means how our portfolio performed in past, how our portfolio is performing at present, how our portfolio will perform in future. Very interesting thing. It also calculates the value at risk for the future. What that means, what is the maximum loss? We have studied how to calculate the value at risk. Same thing. And this software will use the graphical presentation. You can see port, go, performance. Simple thing, it will already, if net is connected, it will go to the net and it will automatically create all these charts. If green color, our portfolio is performing well at present. It's good, doing well. Red color, some loss. Previous one is the strategy. You can see down, it is that graph, what is doing at present in the upward mark, what will be our performance based upon that one. It will show nicely. The software is the output of the port. Okay. Likewise, there are some few examples from the port. Yes, performance attribution of the port. You can see total attribution, where you are investing. This is the, I think, whether you are able to see the cursor moment. Inside that one, you can see consumer discretionary, cash, financials, energy. These are all the sectoral index. And that side, the blue color chart shows that how far the sectoral index are performing at present. Then coming to the right hand side, these colors, that is the orange color, red color, green color, shows how the performance of the sector is going in our portfolio. We might have created the portfolio with that one. So how far it is performing. That is how it will compare with the performance attribution level of the industry or the sectors versus our portfolio. We have created our portfolio. That is mentioned in the right color side. You can see that one. In the left, you can see the blue color. That is how the industry is performing outside our portfolio. That is the original thing. Here they compared that one. That is how they compared that one. You can see same type of graph. This is the transaction-based attribution. How it is impacted in that one. Same thing. You can find out in the software what is the attribution levels of the transactions. Transactions mean each and every transaction that is purchase or sale of particular security. Okay, it will show nicely. Same thing. Here is the summary chart. It will show your portfolio based upon the returns. Returns, the zero is the nominal one. Before zero, you can see green color. Less than zero means red color. It will calculate and show. Only advantage of the software is without having the basic, you can work out. But you are able to take decision only if you know the Excel calculations well, how these people are calculating. Okay, this is the real-time analytics of the portfolio. Now the shares are trading in market. How far our portfolio shares are going in the market? This port software will tell you nicely. Of course, same thing, our candlestick theory, candlestick diagram, what you are preparing in Excel will be displayed here. Based upon that, we can take the decision whether it is bullish or bearish, or what will be the happening hammer, or even the dragon effect. The intraday performance will be reflected here so that we can know when or in which time we can buy, which time we can sell our portfolio. If anything is performing not according to our discretionary power, you can see that one. The performance of this thing, live report has been cast from the BSE as well as from the NSE. It will reflect that one. Okay. And finally, it will also tell about what is the current structure. The blue line indicates the average outside. The orange color indicates our portfolio returns nicely. How far our portfolio is performing. Okay? The future risk. It may estimate the future risk. As we discussed in case of Bloomberg's Pvt, it is the software. I think it will visualize everything what we have studied. Okay? In Pvt software, it will also tell about the portfolios of the future risk. That is value at risk, what we calculated. That value at risk will be shown clearly in the form of future risk exposure. Okay? Same thing. Then the optimization. You can see in the top, the graphical level, how far we can optimize our portfolio. Which shares we can sell, which shares we can buy. If the portfolio manager is the right to do. That is the future estimation. Based upon that, it will show. That is the graphical representation. Likewise, there are some other softwares. Even Indian stock market analysis is there. They are having a nice analytics team. And their software is also used for creating the portfolio in which they will tell about the bullish and bearish trends. It is a nice thing, of course. I am not having the time. I will show one video. That one.
So, in this video, I will show you how to get started with the Portfolio Manager so you can start adding and tracking your investments. This video
whether you are
will use
able
the
to hear the
professional
sound of
version
the video,
program, but everything you see here is equally applicable to the standard version.
Yes, sir.
When you first open up the application, you should be presented with the list of users window. Here, you need to click New, then enter your name and choose a base currency for your portfolio. Stock Portfolio Organizer supports portfolios with mixed currencies. In certain circumstances, such as when you are viewing statistics for all trades in your portfolio, trades with a currency that is different to your user's base currency will be converted before any statistics are calculated. So once you have chosen a base currency, click Save to create the new user. If you are only going to have one user, then I suggest you make the newly created user the default user. This is done by selecting the user and clicking Make Default. What this will do is make Stock Portfolio Organizer skip showing the user's window on startup and instead automatically open the default user. Now that we have our user created, we need to select that user and click Open. This is the main screen for Stock Portfolio Organizer. Before we can begin adding trades, we need to create a new account and a brokerage formula. To create an account, click Accounts in the main menu. Then click New. Next, to enter the name for the account, then select its currency. We will enter the name CompSec, and the default currency we will leave, then enter the initial balance, a lot of the time, the initial balance is not known, but can be easily worked out by instead entering the current balance, followed by adding all the active trades. The resulting balance can then be used to work out what the initial balance was. Once you have filled out all the details, click Save to create the account. To speed up data entry, you can make the account default by selecting it and clicking Make Default. That way, it will be selected by default when entering trades, dividends, etc. Next, we need to create a brokerage formula. To do this, open the Advanced tab.
Yes, this is how they are creating a portfolio organizer. This is a very good example of that one. You can see.
Now we should be greeted with the following share trade entry window. You will notice that the account and brokerage formula we created earlier has been selected.
Use the brokerage here.
And opening the currently open trades grid view, like so.
Yes. Okay, so there are a number of softwares used for this purpose nowadays. Of course, all are used in the same method, but the basic thing is Excel. Only thing you must know the returns. What is the value at risk? If you know all those things, you are able to do this type of portfolio analytics nicely. That is how the data mining is also used. Automatically, the data will be gathered from online and it will go to the software. It will calculate different ratios and it will give your result. You can see the traditional thing, price earning ratio. All those things it will work out. Right. Yes. There are different multi-factor models. 3 types of multi-factor models are there. This ratio what we have discussed in the port software. One is the macroeconomic models, which will find out based upon what is the sectors are performing. That is, it may not be available in our portfolio, but it will tell about the macroeconomic factors. Fundamental models based upon the balance sheet and income statement. Then the statistical models, the estimation. That is called the multi-factor model. Style analysis, the next one. Even the Sharpe ratio. We have studied, we use that one. That Sharpe ratio is also used for this purpose. Okay? That is coming under the style analysis. The another one is called skill and style. So style is a simple thing. Returns of other companies, how far it will affect that one. Say, for example, Sanoj may run one portfolio manager in one company, Kiran will be in another portfolio. How far these portfolio people affect our companies? That is very nice thing. Based upon the NAV value of the other companies, it will inform. Another one is return decomposition analysis. That is, we might have fixed the benchmark. So Kiran might have told, if you are investing in our portfolio, it will get a minimum return of 18% per annum. That is the benchmark. But what is the actual performance? It may be more than 18 or it may be less than 80. Here, the return decomposition analysis of the softwares will tell you about clearly what is the actual performance and what is our expectation. But it won't reflect to the customers. Only for the portfolio managers, it is very useful for allocating among the different portfolio. That is another thing. This is the allocation effect. This port software will give nicely where you have invested. If, say, for example, Pro you have invested means it comes under the large cap growth fund. Based upon the BAC classification, it will show you how much percentage of investment in different sectors. That is large cap, mid cap. We are having the classification in BAC. it will show our investment portfolio in the pie diagram. The selection of the portfolio is based upon the standard deviation, what we have studied. The standard deviation only decide all those things. Likewise, if the expected portfolio is coming down, investor risk aversion will increase, which has been reflected in the port software with the help of the orange colored diagram. Then we have discussed, if you give the input of the profit and loss account balance sheet, it will tell about, based upon the ratio analysis, how far our companies are performing, which are in the portfolio. That is the fundamental analysis. This is purely based upon the income statement and the balance sheet. Another interesting model from the port software, even the FinCAD, is the Brinson model. It is also called as Brinson-Fackler model. Even the Bloomberg and Morningstar use this method. Bloomberg, we have discussed this port. It's also using that one. I think it is the Brinson model will tell about the value at risk. Don't worry about that one. How far we are using the value at risk? We calculated the value at risk. This value at risk is portrayed under the Brinson model nicely. This is a very good example of the Brinson model asset portfolio in which you can invest. So for the purpose of calculating the value at risk, we are using the Brinson model. You know the meaning of value at risk we have discussed. How much maximum loss will go. There are 3 different types of value at risk. We calculated with the help of decomposition model in Excel. You can see the confidence level, time frame, how many years. Then what is the maximum loss from the VAR. That we are able to find out. Confidence level means, I think when we were working with the Excel, you might have seen in the VAR diagram, 95% level of confidence level. Time limit, how many years we are calculating. Loss means what is the maximum amount you will lose if you are investing in these shares. Okay, that's what it means. That is the meaning of what we studied in the practical class. Value at risk. That is the maximum loss. Okay, and it will be portrayed with the help of the diagram also in the Bloomberg software, like the normal curve. Blue area is the total area under the curve, and red area is indicating the how much deviation it will be from the original standard deviation. Okay, these are the analytics used in the portfolio model. Okay, you are studying the portfolio management, but coming to the analytics, it is different. Same thing. How we are using the software for that purpose. In the practical classes, we have studied the portfolio return calculation, we have studied the VAR calculation, then we have studied the solver, style analysis. Whatever we studied in the practical class, this is the theme. Solver, we have studied how much percentage we can invest in gold, how much we can invest in debt and equity. Same thing, it is coming under the theory now. Okay, so with this we will conclude today's class. Tomorrow be ready for the test. We'll announce the timing clearly. Okay, until then, bye. Any doubt you can raise.